which means the coach is not too happy with what he's been seeing of late. Too many draws, and they've drawn last 2 games. So I think John Pano wants to change something, wants to change the narrative this afternoon and hopefully secure all 3 points.
Or you mean Kaka? Kaka wants to, he has made a couple of changes, yes indeed. Of course, Colin Juru completely left out of the squad. As we see the lineup for Tier 1, players to look out for Tier 1. You've got Marvelous, wearing jersey number 2, Marvelous Shugumuna is also a key player. Chelsea Nyakope wearing jersey number 6. Of course, Frank Makarati with jersey number 4. They are playing a 4, looks like a 4-5-1 formation, congesting the midfield with 1 player up front. That's Masilela, the striker.
Yes, Telone themselves coming in with a new strip, which is courtesy of their new sponsors, and we hope to see what they're going to do this afternoon. But if you look at their lineup this afternoon, I think he has consolidated his midfield. That is Coach Sol Chaminuka. He has congested his midfield. He has maintained a solid back 4, which I think is speaking of a coach who wants to stabilize the game and hopefully manage the game and minimize damage as early as possible, and then claw his way back into the game and hopefully damage the home team Dynamos.
Definitely Dynamos playing 4-4-2 formation, while Tier 1 are playing a 4-5-1 formation, wanting to congest the midfield and not allowing Dynamos to play in the midfield. Of course, Dynamos also made another change in goals. That's Fina Idrison Mfo coming in for Tatenda Makoni. And off we get underway. It's Dynamos in blue kicking us from right to left on your screen, and Tier 1 from left to right. Dynamos with possession. We're throwing on the far side. Quickly taken. The cross is good. Looking for Jairus Kasson. Leroy Mavunga. And this one failing to connect, failing to hit target. It'll be a goal kick. Dynamo showing the intent, wanting to get an early goal to unsettle Tier 1. Of course, they've got a veteran goalkeeper in Chris Mverechena, former Caps United goalkeeper. They are not, they've got quite a number of household names within their ranks.
Yes, and not only him, they have Eria Mafirenyika, who is 41 years old, who's seen it all, and he's definitely a man to watch for Dynamos. He's definitely going to be solidifying the Tier 1 defense. And by the way, he was also the man of the match against Hunters when they played Hunters at the Hart Stadium.
As we see Ebo Guatizo roving forward, looking for Leroy Mavunga. That's Guatizo. Good. Mtasa, Wisdom is starting to gain confidence and starting to play well for Dynamos. Abo Guatizo with the throw-in. Of course, you'll know that Wisdom Mtasa is brother to Panashe Mtasa. In the opposite side, is on the bench currently. That's his young brother playing for Tier 1. His father is coaching Mo's World of Sport.
Yeah, well, which tells you that some of these things may run in the family, so it could be some DNA that are threading through in terms of talent passing on from one generation to another.
Absolutely. As Tier 1 push forward, good ball picking up Kosiabo Masilela. A chance here for Tier 1, but just goes wide. Of course, was a good play by Masilela, but the final ball not the best.
Not the best of final balls. I thought it was to do decision making there. I thought maybe he could have steadied himself up, but he rushed this shot, and also the technique. He used the laces, which drove the ball directly over the bar, which could have done better. He curled it with his left footer and then got the ball back as it caught its flight. But one chance goes back in there for Tier 1. I hope they won't live to regret this kind of chances following a confusion in the Dynamos defense.
Here we see there's Kasondo going down after a challenge from Brian Mafirenyika. Wisdom Tasa can fancy his chances from here. I mean, he used to hit those free kicks. I remember back in the day when he played for the under-23s in the squad that also had the likes of Walter Musona. And they did play together at FC Platinum. Let's see if he's still got the technique and power. It's been ambitious. This one is a bit far.
Yes.
Not sure why they want to go for goal from here. Wisdom Tasa for you. Not the best of the free kick. Telone will defend. Gwatidzo pushes it forward, looking for Mavunga. It will be shepherded out for a good work there by Mavunga, perseverance, and looks like he's picked up an injured when he crashed into the fence.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Leroy Mavunga there. I think when he went for that ball, there was sort of some aggression in terms of trying to defend that ball on the part of Telone. So that little push was too much for him, and they threw him onto the boarding fence there.
Yeah, off balance, as we see how it played out. Crashes into the perimeter fence.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Yeah.
Part and parcel of the game. Of course, Dynamos having played 16 games, still waiting for the deliberation of the game against Hard Rock. They've managed to win 6 games, drawn 8, lost 2, managed to score 23 goals. As we see, Agiaman. The cross is good. Mavunga again on the back post. Took his eyes off the ball. Turns infield. Managed to keep the ball in play, and Dynamos asking all the questions. Gwatidzo with a good cross in the box. Good defense by Makarati. Nyawo does well to win possession for Dynamos. Picks up Mavunga on a one-on-one situation. Leroy Mavunga with a shot. It just goes wide. But really showing his intention. Confidence growing high on this player.
Yeah, confidence growing high on him. I think he's had a fair share of the ball this afternoon. Look at that time when he went in for the run there. I think also the technique letting him down, going for power more than precision, or maybe trying to place it on the far post, postage stamp kind of a goal that he looked at. But I think the technique was all wrong and firing off target.
Yes, indeed. Of late, Dynamos have been scoring goals. I mean, they've scored 23 so far and conceded 15. They are doing well in terms of finding the net. Where they're not doing well is at the back, conceding goals that they can easily not concede, according to Coach Kaka.
Probably the reason why he made some few changes again, including the defensive line, where he dropped Mujuru, calling Juru, and bringing in Mandivei this afternoon.
Yes, Mandivei playing in the heart and centre back of Dynamos. Telone pushing forward, looking for Masilela. And Gwatidzo does well, comes out first. Nyawo to Mavunga. Wins a free kick for Dynamos. And the referee on top of the situation, telling Mavla Chigumra that that's your last warning. Will not have any of that, as Leroy was on a break. Last warning and known. Chigumra was beaten for pace by Mavunga. The corner kick for Dynamos. The first one for the encounter. Let's see how they'll deal with this. They present an opportunity for the tall players to hit this ball. The likes of Landu is also the good height. Whipped in by Mavunga. Nyawo with a chance, and Nyawo scores. Looks like it's Nyawo that has scored for Dynamos. Good corner kick by Leroy Mavunga, and the captain celebrates this one.
Yes, a well-flighted ball from the left corner flag through Leroy Mavunga, which found the captain who's returning to the game this afternoon on the far post unmarked, and he volleyed a left shot, which found the far post from his position there, and goalkeeper, Telone goalkeeper, Chris Berechana could not do anything about it, and Telone fell back 1 goal. He was all by himself, not even being attended to, and the defender failed even to get rid of it from on the line.
Chris Berechena not covering himself in glory, but Nyawo will not take care, will not worry about that, because all he wants is to see the ball nest on the back of the net.
That's all he's interested in. The rest is just drama. So Dynamos leading 1-0 now in the 7th minute, and which actually is testament of the approach Dynamos had in this game, that they wanted to get an early goal. If you look at the way they started pressing Telone, it was from the onset, which definitely indicates that the script was, let's get an early goal.
And let's see how Telone will respond. The push forward with Chelsea Nyakope. Nyawa wins possession for Dynamos. And it's booted forward by Telone with possession. Looking for Chiguma. And Chiguma couldn't keep this one in play. It was a long cross-field play. Intention was good, but execution not the best. Flick forward by Mandivei. Telone coming with Nyaku Danga. Good 1-2 exchange and quickly stopped by Lando. He's settled in very well. Janos Kasondo for Dynamos looking for options. Plays it back to Guatizo. And Guatizo will get involved, the keeper, Idris Mfo. Playing it to Magwaza. And it's a long one. Try to pick up Frank Agiaman and Kasondo up front. Yakudanga loses out to Dynamos Mandivei, and they're pushing forward. Ooh, timely intervention. That one there had Agiaman and Kasondo chasing. Dynamos have to defend this one. An offside call on Kudakwashe Nyakudanga.
Otherwise, it was a good enterprising play from Telone in trying to have a quick response in the game, but it mistimed his run, and also you would have expected that the player with the ball would have retained the possession as opposed to giving a player who's evidently offside.
Or played early enough before the player goes out on an offside position. Long one, Kasondo with the flick. And Verechena will gather the ball. That's Agiaman.
I think the referee's keeping play because it was a head injury. Yeah.
Yes,
otherwise, there was no obligation to stop play. Yeah, but because it's a head injury, the referee made the right call there to stop play. And
looks like he's got a cut on his eye as he flicked on.
Yes. Yeah, his contact of the heads there.
Yeah.
With Captain Makarati, Frank Makarati, who himself.
Former Dynamos
captain, yeah. He knows the stuff very well.
He's one guy who's always lucky. Wherever he goes, he becomes captain. He also was the captain, if I'm not mistaken, for Ngezi. Not sure. That's how Dynamos took the goal. And a good corner kick by Mavunga. And again, Telone will be asked questions the way they left so many blue jerseys by themselves in the box.
There wasn't any marking at all.
Dynamos pushing forward with Lando. And it's a cross. But you like the way Telone respond. They have not panicked. They're still playing the passing game, building from the back.
Which is a good approach if you ask me, because you are saying, guys, let's stick to what we plan to do. Let's do what we practice the training until maybe late stages of the game. But at the moment, there's no need to panic. We've only played 12 minutes. So let's keep doing what we practice to do midweek.
Absolutely. And we'll keep you abreast of what's happening at the centers as the results trickle in. Flick forward. A good flick on. Nice pass in Telone, exchanging good passes. Innocent Mchaneka releasing Tawanda Macheka, and that effort will go for a corner kick as he took a deflection. But the good build-up from Mchaneka and Macheke really bring out the best of Telone's attack.
Yes, so far I think they are showing confidence. They want to have a quick reply to this game. They find themselves coming back in the game. And I think I like the way they are playing. You know, it's Telone, they are finding each other. But if you go on the flip side, Dynamos actually preferring the long ball, the route one kind of football. And then Telone are finding each other, breaking the Dynamos lines and finding their way up into the final third.
And let's see how Dynamos will defend this corner. This one area where Dynamos have been really struggling this season. And I think it's also to do with the goalkeepers. They are not good at cutting crosses. They are always on the line. And let's see how Dynamos will defend this corner kick. It will be in swinger. Good corner kick, and the goalkeeper doesn't cover himself in glory. A chance for Telone here at the back post. It's still Telone asking all the questions. They're still in possession. Another cross is whipped in. Not sure what the goalkeeper was trying to do there.
Yeah, I think he was caught in two minds, to go for a punch or to let it go and roll out for a goal kick, which eventually rolled out for a goal kick. But that's a risky option if you ask me, because a goal kick, someone could be ghosting in from the blind side and then just tap it in. And did he get injured in the process?
I think he failed to deal with that cross. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. The goalkeepers, they have not covered themselves in glory. Even Tatenda Makoni is not good at dealing with situations in the box. And for me, I feel anything between the penalty spot and the goal line, the keeper should be able to deal with that.
Yes, and once you commit to go for a punch, make sure you go for a punch and it's effective and decisive. But otherwise, anything else will just definitely be risky on you. So it seemed like he picked up an injury there. And remember, he's also a player, a goalkeeper who's coming back from a long injury, coming back to Dynamos. I think he's played about 2 or 3 games. Probably this could be his 3rd or 4th game from a long injury. So which could also present problems for Dynamos coach Kaka, should he not be able to continue with this game.
No, I think it's just theatrics trying to manage time. Yes. Cue the rhythm for Telone as the multitude of Dynamos fans enjoying a bit of sunshine here in winter here.
Enjoying both the sunshine and the scoreline.
Exactly.
And talking about players having to go to the technical area, this is what FIFA is trying to clamp down on. To say when a goalkeeper is being attended to, players will no longer be allowed to go to the technical area for some technical briefing.
I'm sure next season these rules will be enforced in our Kasalaga Premiership. Flicked forward by Dynamos. Jaros Kasondo. Shakat Nyawa. Looking wide for Abba Guatizo. Lirwe Mabunga. Good pass. Can Guatizo get to the end of that ball? And he wins a free kick, an unnecessary free kick.
Very unfortunate.
From Kudakwashe Nyakudanga.
That's why they just exchanged friendly smiles after the incident. It was just but he was off the ground, so that's why that tape appeared so serious, and then it got him off balance. So very unfortunate there for Nyakudanga. He maybe not intentional, but accidental. But at the end of the day, in terms of the rules, it gives away a free kick and
in a promising position.
Yes, Tasa will quickly check that. Will they replicate the corner kick routine?
I mean, they are looking for players like Lando. He's also got good height. He can get to the end of that ball. Let's see how Mtasa will whip in this one. His father also donned this jersey, blue jersey for Dynamos, starting off in Mutare. Mtasa with a poor free kick. Fortunate for him, he gets a corner kick.
Yeah, he didn't give it enough elevation.
So Chamanika pondering on the next move, wanting his team to fight back. He says in his pre-match interview, he says that take jobs that other coaches will not want to take.
Yes, he said, and he speaks of maybe knowing his way around also with teams.
Corner kick is good for Dynamos. Still danger here. A chance for Dynamos. To be another corner kick. Wisdom Tasa thought he would have scored there, but the footwork of Alan Chapanduka defending that one. Again, the goalkeeper. A chance here. Good save by Beretena and a good glancing header. Dynamos asking all the questions.
And I also think the match officials need to watch where the ball is being positioned, the corner kicks for Dynamos. Yeah, I think they are maybe finding their way out of the corner kick arc. And if you look at the first corner
See
kick,
that header from Landu and Beretena with a good save. Let's see how this one will be taken. A chance here for Dynamos, and Telone will clear the lines. Yeah, you were talking of the way where the ball is being placed.
yes, yeah. Yes, we know even if the ball is just sitting on the edge of the corner kick arc, it will still be legit. But I'm not too sure whether the full circumference of the ball would have cleared the corner kick arc. So maybe a call for the match officials to look closely into that when the corner kicks are being taken.
Again, it's a long ball looking for Masilela. Dynamos doing well to defend. Telone coming with Chigomura. Good exchange of passes. Nyakope. And that one was intended for Masilela, the goalkeeper. Mfo coming out doing very well to avert the danger.
Seeing there wearing that head brace, I think it's a result of the injury that he picked. And now it's good to see him back in action again for Dynamos, because it was actually career-threatening injury that he sustained. And Dynamos made sure he gets fit and recovered on time to see out to be part of the story of the Dynamos 2026 season.
Yes, indeed. Good to see him back in between the sticks. The Cameroonian international. Advantage Telone. Again, the two players confusing each other. Leroy Mavun, they're benefiting of that in a one-on-one situation. The first pass was a bit hard by Leroy Mavun. He tried to pick up Abo Guatito. The intention was good, but the execution not the best, and the two players just acknowledging each other there.
Yeah, enterprising play from Leroy Mavunda. So he had seen two runs, one central run from Kasondo and another run from Abelkwat is on the left-hand side, and he tried to thread through a pass. The idea was good, but just the execution, which went horribly wrong.
And Lando will clear this one for a throw-in for Telone. A chance from far, and that one a bit ambitious. I've played 20 minutes in this encounter. Again, looks like the Dynamos goalkeeper is in trouble. I think he must have picked up an injury.
Yeah, it will be sad to see him go off.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's looking in pain. He's breathing in agony there. Might not be looking good for him.
Tatenda Makoni will need to prepare.
Will he be able to continue with this game? Very unfortunate. Idrisu, maybe coming back from a long injury, you want to maintain some consistency and retain your form. And we see there the Dynamos technical bench pondering on what to do. Should they get a signal from the medical team to say Idris is not able to continue? Then, of course, obviously, Tatenda Makoni will be coming in to relieve him.
An injured-inspired substitution, not what Genius Kaka was looking for, but let's see how it plays out. But it looks like from that corner kick, I think he must have knocked his knee out with the striker when he failed to deal with that corner kick.
And some players, Dynamos players, also getting a moment for a water break, which is like synonymous of what's happening in the World Cup.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But here it's under very unfortunate circumstances. You see some fans there, which probably enjoying themselves in the sunshine, the Harare winter sunshine on them. Of course, definitely we see that's Tatenda Makoni making himself ready to come on to take up goals for Dynamos. So it seems that
for a goalkeeper,
and
for a goalkeeper, it's usually difficult because hardly a goalkeeper can substitute, and mentally he needs to quickly get himself in the act. As you see, the pain and agony in Mfo's face. Yeah. He really wanted to play yet, claim the number 1 jersey, but injury again, causing havoc.
Yeah, he is really distraught there. Look at his face there. He would have wanted to continue this game, but unfortunately the injury forces him out. Yeah, and you're talking about Tatina Makoni coming in, because as a goalkeeper, you will not have warmed up enough, because chances are you're not going to come in. But under the circumstances, we have no choice but to see the coming in of Tatina Makoni to replace Finia Idrisum from Cameroon. Having played only 20 minutes, very unfortunate. Frank Agyemang there, getting some instructions from his coach. He's one enterprising player. I always enjoy his runs, even off the ball. Frank Agyemang, he's one player who gives you options. When you're a midfielder, he can run into pockets of space, and you can also even give you balls. So that's Frank Agyemang for you. If you see that chance again, I mean the flighted ball.
There you see, if his landing was not the best, he felt he didn't land well. If you look at his left knee, look at that.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Part and parcel of the game, and Tatenda Makoni will have to be at his best.
That's the last we saw of him before being pulled out.
Yeah, the knee troubling him. Shot to Gnyawa, giving it to Landu. With a long one, Kasondo giving chase. Throwing to Dynamos on the far side. A goal kick. Those Dynamos fans enjoying themselves.
This is going to be the fourth time the two teams have played this particular fixture in Harare. They've played 3 times before. Dynamos winning 1-0 through Emmanuel Paga in season 2024, drawing 2 games, 0-0 in 2019, as well as a 1-0 draw in 2025, last season.
Throwing for Telone. They are pushing forward, looking for that equalizer. It's a long one. Cleared by Dynamos. A pushing foul by Kasondo, and the Dynamos fans not agreeing with that call, but a right one by referee Rosaro. The flick on wasn't the best, but they managed to keep possession. Chigumura can whip in across. Mafunga for Dynamos will collect. Good play by Mtasa. Plays it across field, looking for Agyemang. Anotida Ishe Guatizo. Not the best pass from Guatizo. Sold the damage to his teammate, Innocent Chaneka. Good play by Chelsea Nyakope. Good play with the long ball, not the best one. But you have to look at Tawanda Macheka is holding the ball very well.
That's the tail one blue. It's not the Dynamos one. These are officials from Telone all the way from Gwelu.
See a captionated supporter in the takeoff thing of the Dynamo supporters.
Yeah, we've seen a trend in the local football where there seems to be an alliance between the traditional giants, Cape United, Dynamos, and also including Highlanders. I think they've been bending together and just showing each other solidarity that we've been in the game, in the local game for so long.
We are the big brothers.
Big boys of the league.
Good indeed, good to see. Long throw in, headed by Makarati. Shadrack Nyawo loses out. Telone pushing forward. If they can get the ball wide, they've got 3 white jerseys working the option. Forced to play back. Good tracking back by Anotila Gwatiza, forcing Telone to play back. Foul committed. The free kick to Telone, which is quickly taken. Magwaza does well and cleared out of danger by Mandivei. Chelsea Nyakope, a chance from outside the box. Just take a crack. He's given so much room and just takes this one over the bar, and the Dynamos defenders just backing out, and he fancies his chances.
Yeah, Nyakope proving to be helpful for Dynamos. And there's one player who scored against Boso last weekend. He is the scorer of the goal. It was also man of the match from that particular game. So he's fancying his chances. He's filling in the groove. He's in his territory and enjoying his game. And he definitely had the right to fancy his chances from that range.
He's left all alone. Good play by Chaneka. Dynamos push forward and Mutasa wins a free kick. First yellow card of the day. Flash to Makarati, the captain. They know each other from training. Wisdom Mutasa, that's more like a blocking foul.
Yeah,
but I think it's a bit harsh to pick up a yellow card like that.
Yeah, for a yellow, yes. Maybe just a free kick.
Yeah, a caution to say.
Yes, yeah. Say I'm watching you, please watch how you tackle. Watch how you commit yourself to tackles.
Now he has to watch his move. He's trading on thin ice. Frank Makarati, confirmation of that yellow card. The Telone captain, Frank Makarati. Abel Guatizo. Does he fancy his chances there? Just sails over the crossbar. It's one area where I feel our local teams and local coaches should improve in terms of set pieces. For me, that ball was a bit too far. They should have played, look for a pass, even play wide, and get some width across the ball in the box.
And even the angle was acute. It definitely chances of you getting a goal from that range and that angle would up reduced as opposed to maybe a free kick that is located centrally at the goal. But well, he fancied these chances because he's got a shot in his left leg. And he wanted to actually find the near post.
I think Chigumra is trading, is riding his luck. Again, he needs to count himself lucky. That's the second time the referee has been cautioning him, telling him none of that.
Probably this incident, that's the one that deserved the yellow compared to the Makarati incident.
I totally agree with you.
Because it's not the first time.
Against the same players, yes. Finding it difficult to stop Mavunga. So marvelous Chigumira surviving there. And I can tell you in other centers, it's still goalless. This is the only game so far where one team has scored. Dynamos leading here. The other games are still goalless across the country. Looking for Masilela and Guatizo does well. Mandive heads it forward. Nyakope couldn't get a good head after that. Masilela for Telone does well. Nyakope to his captain Frank Makarati. They are pushing forward. Looking for Allen Chapanduka to be throwing to Telone. Mtigo loses out. Wisdom Tassa looking for options and is hacked down by Kudakwashe Nyakudanga. To be a free kick which the captain will take. Mandevei playing in the centre back today, pushing forward, looking for options. The 1-2. Leroy Mavunga loses out possession. Good play from Chigumura. In a 1-on-1 situation here. Chance here. And the chance for Telone. Good defense work from Tatenda Makoni. Doing very well. That was Tawanda Macheke, former Dynamos player. Could have scored against his former team, but the goalkeeper, quick on his feet, went for that tackle and the timely intervention.
I think timely intervention from Tatenda Makoni. He realized that he had lost his footing there, and the striker was actually head on goal. So Tatenda Makoni doing two things right: the timing and also measuring the tackle to say how much is going to be physical and commit onto the tackle. So Tatenda Makoni.
Corner kick taken. Dynamos with Landu, the header. There's still danger, and it's finally booted out of play. Headed forward. Telone looking for that equalizer. Good play. The cross is good. A chance here for Telone. And good goalkeeping from Makoni. Telone asking all the questions, pushing forward and wanting to score. What a play by Telone, and Tatenda Makoni getting involved in the thick of things.
Yeah, well, he's done well so far since he came on for the injured Idrisu. But I think he did very well in there, covering himself in glory after having been beaten. And then the chance that came in, I think it was lofted too high. But of course, then the volley on the far side was dealt with on the near post by Tatenda Makoni. It cannoned off the upright onto Tatenda Makoni's back, and then it fell away to safety. Yeah, coming out the west there for injury.
Dynamos goalkeepers picking up injuries. If he's to fail to continue, they'll have to put the infield player between the sticks.
That would be very unfortunate and sad for the blue half of Harare. They don't want to work on that. So they just hope Tatenda Makoni will recover. Who would have scripted it that they will have two goalkeepers getting injured
in the first half? But I'm sure you'll be able to get up and get back to some action.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something that can be managed and then allow him to continue with play.
A decent crowd that came to watch this game, despite Dynamos conceding late against Manika Diamonds in Mutare.
Oh, we have
Kalisto Pasua Manabunu in the crowd watching the game. Former Dynamos midfielder, former Dynamos captain. He's got 6 league titles to his name. The globe-trotting Kalisto Pasua. That was brilliant play by Mtigu. And the cross, that finish was almost perfect, but Makoni had other ideas.
It bounced off target kindly. Because some of these balls, we've actually seen them cannon off the framework of the goalpost, bouncing onto the goalkeeper's back, and then rolling it into an empty net.
Yes, indeed. 36 minutes played in the first half. It's Dynamos leading Mavunga with a cross. Again, a poor ball from Mavunga. Sometimes he lacks consistency.
In the Platinum Derby, against the Platinum have actually found the net. They are leading 1-0 over FC Platinum out in the
chance for Dynamos here! Frank Agiaman, back-to-back goals, scored in his last game and scores again, but there's a good ball from Guatizo. Yeah. And his anticipation was brilliant. Was Kasondo gave up and he kept going and went to finish. Those fans enjoying this moment.
Yeah, they have every reason to. If you look at the way that Dynamos build up their play, and I think it speaks of anticipation on the part of Ageman. He's good at that. He's a predator. He knows his positioning very well. There's the ball that was fractured in on the far side until one failed to deal with it, and Ageman was there on the right side, coming in with a sliding tap in, and then we found target.
You know, I was talking to Stanley Katsande, saying that the argument is a hard worker. All what was missing and all what was lacking in his game was goals, and the goals are beginning to come. And he works hard, he's a workaholic.
He is, and it's actually a similar goal that is scored against Hunters. You know, the persistence, he's so tenacious. You know, when he comes into the 6-yard box, he comes with such aggression. And look at the fans, they're enjoying themselves. The green half and the blue half of Harare enjoying themselves, they're celebrating the goal.
The beauty of football.
And listen to this, what they're seeing Kepe Bora. And that is just Dynamos who has scored.
The beauty of football. Telone with the cross in the box. The header, Macheke pushing it out, and the Dynamos gather possession and booted forward looking for Agyameng. A nice control by Chaneka. He's a good player. Wins the free kick of Wisdom Tasa.
So it seems we had a minute of goals from across the country. In the same minute, almost the same minute, Gezi was scoring against FC Platinum, Dynamo scoring their second goal against Telone, and Simba Bora scoring against Manika Diamond in the last 5 minutes of the Premier Soccer League in Zimbabwe.
Yes, indeed, and Gezi Platinum going all the way to Mandava. In the Platinum Derby are leading the home team by a goal to 0.
Very interesting encounter. The Platinum boys showing off each other's muscles. And I guess the Platinum, in my view, have done very well this season. After going through a suspension of making any signings or any transfers.
A flick on, it will be offside call or a push on the Dynamo's captain. Yes, you were talking of Ngezi Platinum, but it is a blessing in disguise that they were not allowed to register and sign new buy players. It also gives a chance for the development of teams to also get to. Of late, we have been seeing a number of youngsters coming into the Premiership and getting to play, which is a positive thing.
Which is good because it gives a young talent a chance to blossom, a chance again to get a feel of the Premiership, and also good for their personal development as players.
Good play. Lost out his teammate. Chelsea Nyakope back to Berechena. Confirmation of that. The scoreline in the first half. Nyao was 7 minutes. Agyameng in the 37th minute. And Dynamos comfortable leading this one. Chigumura. Good tracking back from Avunga. Anotida Ishe Guatizo with a long one. Tried to look for Leroy. And it's played back to Berechena. Chris beaten twice in the first half. Allen Chapanduka back to Berechena. Ooh! Dangerous play by Berechena. Ooh! Dynamos with a chance here. Wisdom Tasa! That was Kasondo. Again, Dynamos with the chance. Mavunga. Leroy! Wanting a penalty. But Telone doing themselves a disservice here, Joe.
I think they're living dangerously. I think it also stems from the fact that they want to play from the back every ball that they get. And then sometimes it might be risky, and unless if you are so efficient and clinical in your exchanges of passes. But Dynamos, they're fluffing a chance that could have seen them go 3-0 up. So Telone surviving the ball, that onslaught. Look at the back pass, which was too high for the goalkeeper's comfort. And then his first touch was poor. I let him down. And it was also good that he found the time to clear it. And I think lack of communication. Had he let that ball in for an on-rushing Mtasa, he would have done more justice to that particular cross.
Yes, Anotida should have left from Mtasa. Again, there was no handball there.
No handball.
Good call from the referee. Kasondo. The man from Banket, representing Banket here in Harare.
He's one guy who travels every day for training from Banket to Harare, and then also from Banket whenever they have to Harare whenever they have games. Yeah. That's Jairus Kasondo for you.
Yes, I mean
that's a distance of 90 kilometers.
Indeed. Free kick. And so Chaminuka will have a lot to say during the halftime break. Not happy with how his team is defending. But going forward, I think they're doing quite well, knocking the ball around. He plays the passing game. Again, they lose possession. They don't know when throwing.
Yeah,
Dynamos.
Telone good to the eye, but maybe not efficient. Whereas Dynamos have been efficient with the few chances that they created. So Telone are playing football, Dynamos are scoring goals.
Smash and grab. Going wide, and this one try to look for Mtasa. Headed forward by Landu. Didaishe Gwatidzo loses out. And there you see again Agiaman tracking back, going to mark at the back.
Very industrious.
Very.
He's a workhorse.
He's a workaholic.
There's so much energy in those two pairs of legs.
Nyawa, a good header to Magwaza. Throw in. Not sure what happened. Kasondo must have picked up a knock.
Some Telone fans, they're taking a moment for a selfie.
Captured the moment.
Oh, okay, I think that contact on the knee. Yeah, it was a knee on knee. Makarati's right knee on Kasondo's left knee. Yeah, he bumped onto him.
Shadik Nyawa. Tendai Magwaza with a long one. Leroy Mavunga intercept the ball. The final ball in the attacking third for Telone hasn't been the best, but they're doing well.
That's the missing piece to their puzzle.
Exactly.
But otherwise, they're playing well. They're exchanging mid passes, but the decision making in the final third.
3 minutes of optional time. Shadik Nyawa for Dynamos. It's a long one. Looking for Kasondo. Giving chase is Tawanda Macheke. He's always full of running. Even in his days at Dynamos, he was that striker that ran for every loose ball and he was always there.
Across town, Simba Bora are now leading by 2-0 with a goal from Nawasep, scoring for Simba Bora against Manika Diamond out in Shamba.
Chance wasn't the best with the goal kick to Dynamos. Of course, Simba Bora doing well. Mandla, ever since he took over Simba Bora, I think he's done a great job.
Yeah, he has. You can see some form of stability, and also one thing that they've been doing well is to find goals. The Simba Bora.
Headed forward, Nyawo Abo Gwatidzo. Didaishe Gwatidzo. Good turn by Leroy Mavunga. Turns infield, looking for options. Mtasa tried to look for Gwatidzo. He gives the chase and good play. And Berechena Chigumura runs themselves out of touch to be thrown to Dynamos. Again, Telone wanting to play from the back. Sometimes you just have to pump the ball forward. It's not necessary to put yourself under pressure.
Very unnecessary. There are times where you need to just play it safe, yes. But then there are times again when you just need to play to safety. Play forward, attacking the ball so that you relieve yourself of the pressure.
It looks like there's an offside call. Agiamen for you, involved in doing all the dirty work, playing behind Kasondo. Magwaza with the long one, they're throwing.
Agiamen has been doing well. And remember their last game against Hunters here, he was also the man of the match for that particular encounter.
Headed away by Dynamos. Can Telone get something before the break? Doesn't look like it will happen. And that whistle bringing the end of the first 45 minutes, where we did see Dynamos getting the lead in the 7th minute. through the captain Shadrach Nyawa, and the second one from Frank Agiaman. Your thoughts of this first half, Joe?
Yeah, I think we saw a first half that Dynamos came in strongly in the first early minutes of the game. They showed their intent that they want to get an early goal, which they did as early as the 7th minute through a Shadrach Nyawa shot on the far post. And then on the other side, Telone have been playing good football on their part. It's only that their final third has been letting them down. The decisive moments, that's where they've been failing to execute. So playing good football, yes, helps, but at the same time, you want to be efficient up front and get goals, which Dynamos have done with the few chances that they created, and Dynamos are deservedly so in the lead. And I'm sure Coach Sol Chamnuka will drill these guys to say, let's be clinical, let's be decisive, and let's be more efficient when going up front. And Dynamos will say, okay, fine, let's manage the game. Let's also be careful and concentrate at the back, avoid silly mistake, and protect our lead. Which is what Dynamos has been failing to do of late. Leading 2-0, you don't want to draw the game 2-2.
So at the break, it's Dynamos leading by 2-0. Sol Chamnuka will have a lot to say in the dressing room for Telone. In other centers, Simba Bora are leading at halftime 2-0 against Manica Diamonds. Moors versus FC Under, that one there is 0-0. Chicken in versus the Rentals in Bulawayo, that one there is 0-0. So Dynamos at the break, Dynamos are leading by 2-0, and let's see how it plays out in the second half. Let's join Charles Mabiga and Tim on the pitch side halftime analysis.
Halftime here at Kumbiles Rufaro Stadium, and the Wi-Fi of Telone FC temporarily shut down by Dimbare twice here through goals by Captain Shadrach Nyawa first, and then Frank Agiamang to make it 2-0. But Telone, as you saw, they could have come back themselves. Tawanda Macheke, a former Dynamos hitman, failing to beat substitute goalkeeper Tatenda Makoni. It could have been 1-1 then, and they paid dearly for that, because 2 minutes to 3 minutes later, Dynamos got their second goal. We'll also be updating you on what has been happening elsewhere. 2 matches, a goal apiece, 2 matches. Will let you know who has scored elsewhere. But here, Telone have got a mountain to climb now. Remember, former Dynamos captain Justice Majavi, the chief, predicting a 2-1 victory for Dimbare. So he's still on course. And I'll start with him. Chief Justice, what a performance there by the boys. Your boys, I should say.
Definitely, I think it's a good start, I would say. Getting that opener through Nyawa. I think it was meant to. And, of course, Dynamos now, they need to maintain it, because they've been getting to this situation. But, of course, a great goal from Frank Agiamang, which was a good anticipation, I would say. A good pass from Anotida, you get to this point, and I think they deserve to win. Especially this first half, and Dynamos, they've been in control here and there. Also, they try by all means, to get more goals, but which is very important. They need to pass the 2-goal mark. They've been scoring 2 goals more often, but so they need to pass this mark and get at least the 30 goals so that you avoid.
As we see the highlights there, Chief.
Yeah, it's good, and I think it's a good goal altogether. The first goal, that cross, it came in, and
Shadrach Nyawa, of all people.
Of all people, I think he's leading, leading by example as a captain. This was a very good pass from Anotida and a very good anticipation from Frank. What a slot in and a good tap in there. It was really good, and also I think he was brave enough to come in between the lines and get into the goalkeeper there. This was a very good pass. I would say, you rarely find this pass in this league. Yeah, sure. And it was a good goal. Frank has been scoring of late, and he's on great form. He should continue, I think as a foreigner, we've been discussing off air with Becky, as a foreigner, you need to work just like him and do your best.
Frank Agyamang, the man from Ghana, scoring the second goal, but what a gem of a pass from Anotida Gwatidzo, improving with each outing. But Coach Bex, Tawanda Macheke could have made it 1-1.
Yes, Tawanda Macheke could have easily made it 1-1, but I think he had a second thought where he wanted to hit the ball, then later on decided, let me dribble. And I think we need to give the credit to the goalkeeper. After he had been taken off, he really reacted very early and blocked him. Yes, but generally, when we look at that...
Yes, we look at that, Coach Bex.
Yes, that was really an opportunity which they should have easily used. And the pass was just behind the defense. And I think that's one thing which Telone should be thinking about, to say, let's have the ball behind the defense. We might catch them in sixes and sevens, like what had happened with Tawanda Macheke.
Yes, Tawanda Macheke, the big striker, the former Dynamos hitman, failing to punish his former paymasters. It could have been 1-1. And then they had another chance as well. I'll stay with you, Chief. They had another chance. They could have made it 2-1.
Yes, they could have made it 2-1, but the goalkeeper reacted faster and really saved the Dynamos. And for Dynamos in their defense, they need to be a bit more organized than the way we have seen, because especially on this cross which came, they really struggled to just clear the cross as early as possible. That's why you find when they are leading, they end up the opponents coming back. They need to be as tight as they can.
Well, I'll let you know how the other score lines are like just after this. Let's keep talking about this, then I'll give the update, Chief. And I must talk about Anotida Ishe Gwatidzo. So far, for me, he's been the outstanding player on the park.
Yeah, he's young, full of energy, very clever, I would say. And I like, he keeps on trying. Whatever happens, and he's also helping out in the central midfield. And I hope, the youngster continues working extra hard and reach his potential career point. And of course, him playing for a bigger club like Dynamos, and at his age, I think he's doing so well. And already he's been a favorite, from the crowd, and he's doing so well.
You know all about being favorites of the Vietnam stand, eh, Chief?
The Vietnam, they make the team. I always say, they make the team. And of course, if you play well and you start working extra hard, that's what they really look at. And here it's easier for you to play. You can see the young man is doing so well. He works. Sometimes he can play as a left back. You find in most difficult matches. Yeah, and I think it's very important that he keeps on working and going forward.
Yes, Anotida Ishe Gwatidzo there. And I can tell you that from the other centers that at Mandava Stadium, Mangezi Platinum, the away team are leading FC by 1-0. At Emagumeni at Baba Fields, it's Chicken in nil, Rentals nil. At Wazanai Stadium, it's Simba Bora 1, Manika Diamonds nil. At Ngoni Stadium, it's Moz nil, FC Hunters nil. So, right. Let's Coach Beck. So, what do you think? What do you think will happen in the second half?
Yes, second half, especially for Dynamos, I'm sure the coaches are going to be talking more about trying to make sure that in midfield they need to be as tight as they can, so that they help their defense, and also in defense, let's mark as tight as we can as well, and try to make sure they close their opponents, because they are trying to come from the wings, and should not allow those crosses which appear to be dangerous to be coming in.
That's right. I'll just tell you that Simba Bora got another one just before halftime. So it was a night. It's Chinuchedu who are leading the Gem Boys, Manika Diamonds, by 2-0. Well. Right. I don't know. An uphill slog then it's going to be for Manika Diamonds. And well, Chief, you're still on course for 2-1. Oh, I know if I ask Chief, for another prediction. I just did 3-0. So I want. We'll let him stay at 2-1. So, Chief, I know that Dynamos will want to get another one. But what do you think right now, Kaka, the Dynamos head coach, needs to do? Any changes you think?
I think, in the second half, we saw it's not really far away from Tier 1 to get especially before it was 2-0. They were not far away from getting an equalizer. But
going 2-1 as well.
Yeah, and of course they should have gone 2-1. But this type of a game is quite difficult. So as Kaka, you just need to add one more, push the boys to add one more goal so that you can secure the scoreline. Which is very important. But I wouldn't want him to make a little bit earlier substitution. Why? Because the team the cohesion is there. The team has got some rhythm. It's going forward, is coming back together. So at least give them 10-15 minutes, then you see. Because, the moment you start bringing in fresh legs, especially when the scoreline is like this, you're also giving the chance to the opponent to settle. Because the new legs and the rhythm of the play, sometimes it's quite difficult. And you find our games, this time of the season is winter. So some games, is becoming a little bit cold. So some games, the tempo, if it dies, the players just coming in onto the field, they become so cold. So I wanted him to continue with the same team, get another goal. Then after that, maybe that's when you start trying to at least bring in fresh legs. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's the story then. Can Telone Football Club switch back on their Wi-Fi in the second half? We'll have to wait and find out because that's where we are going back. Well, not to Telone, a football club. We are going back to the commentary box to rejoin our two colleagues, Spencer, that's Sparrow Nyamatao, and Willie, that's Ginola Mutingwa. We'll be talking to you at the end of the 90.
Thank you, legendary CNN and team. Of course, I am with Joe in the studio here. Dynamos fans enjoying the moment. The team is leading by 2-0. Can they hold on to this? We wait for 45 minutes to see if they can hold on to this. Of late, they've been donating points. They've been drawing. They've been conceding goals towards the twilight of the game. Can they hold their own? What is Telone going to do in this second half? Can they make a few substitutes that can come and turn the game around? I think they've played very well in the first half in terms of knocking the ball around. It's in the final third where they're lacking, Joe.
Yeah, in the final third where they're lacking, and Dynamos will be happy. Even if you return the possession as much as you can do that. But as long as you don't damage us, Dynamos will be happy with the state of affairs. As you see the fans there in the terraces. Oh, look at that ball there. Well, it could be questionable. Was that ball in the corner kick arc or not? But, well, it's neither here nor there. What matters now is Dynamo scored from that corner kick. Shattering now, finding the far post and marked. Leroy Mavunga fighting a long, lofty ball.
Even the technique by Nyawa was good.
It was good, yeah. The instep.
Yeah,
well directed. They had every reason to punch the air there to join his fans on the sunny side of Rufaro Stadium in celebrating that goal. And look at the coach Kaka embracing Leroy Mavunga for a good delivery. Then the second ball, that's Agiaman coming in with a sliding tap in.
Perseverance paying off for Agiaman.
Yeah, Telone struggling to deal with that ball. It was threaded through. And Agiaman read the flight of the ball, the trajectory there right for him, and then he goes in there with a sliding tap in. And he will not complain by picking up a few bruises from the ground as long as he got the ball across the line through the feet of Chris Mverechena. And there he is there celebrating from the terraces, from the advertising boards, enjoying himself. And Magwaza also conducting the choir from the terraces in typical Dynamo celebration. They are like holding the camera to say, can you see this?
And Telone, I fancy they'll make a couple of changes before the second half gets underway. That's something that Saul Chaminika is not scared to do. He is not scared to make those chances.
He comes out as a shrewd tactician, that's Saul Chaminuka. The way he can tweak things around. Who would have thought that when he got to Telone, they were on 16th position and out of 10 games, and now he has moved them up the log table. And if you look at his track record, he has gained 11 points since he came on, and winning 3 times, drawing twice, and losing once.
Leroy Murape coming in, and Kosiabo Masilela calls it out a day, and Calvin Chasala coming in. Mutigo coming out and Chigara coming in. For me, those two changes really surprising me because Mutigo and Masilela were giving the on. Let's see how this one plays off as Telone get us underway in this second half. They've got 45 minutes to try and look for those 2 goals or the third one to win should they want to get some points here. Long ball by Dynamos, flicked forward. Telone still pushing forward. Abel Guatizo, Leroy Mavunga. The two have formed a telepathic understanding. It's a long one. Looking for Kasondo. Leroy Mavunga looking for options. Plays it back to Tatenda Makoni. Good composure by Makoni. Sends a dummy. And the free kick committed by Mkarati. He's finding it hard to deal with Jairus Kasondo.
That's the Telone contingent.
Confirmation of the substitute. Masilela out and Tigo comes. Murape and Chigara. Of course, Leroy Murape, young brother to former Dynamos captain. And he's also a former Dynamos player, Leroy Murape. And doing well for Telone. Played a great season last year under Herbert Maroa for Telone. Let's see how Dynamos again from about 40 yards. Guatizo and Mtasa wanted to take this one. Let's see how they'll take this free kick. Again for me, bit ambitious. Straight at goalkeeper Chris Merechema. No trouble there, Joe.
Yeah, well, from that range, I wonder how maybe he feels confident to travel with the goalkeeper from that range. But as it is, that ball only landed once and then lost its sting, unless if the goalkeeper is confused by the bounce. But in terms of providing threat for the goalkeeper, well, chances are very minimal.
For me, you expect from that angle, put players wide, get one player to tram the line on the far side and one on the near side, open up the defense, and then you get a cross. Yes,
agreed. Yeah. Otherwise, that's a wasted set piece for Dynamos.
Alan Chapanduka, the substitute. That's Chigara losing out possession. Dynamos looking for Leroy Mavunga, and Chigomura does well. Nyakope for Telone. Alan Chapanduka looking for options. Plays a cross-field pass, a good pass from Chigombura. And the cross is good. Again, Makoni not covering himself in glory. The pressure still not averted. The substitute, can he whip in across? Guatizo. Dynamos failing to defend again. This is what the coach was talking about. To be a goal kick for Dynamos.
Disappointing cross on the part of Telone. You are desperate. You need a goal to come back into the game, and then that kind of delivery certainly won't do you any good. So, yeah, another chance goes a begging, and pressure is relieved on the part of Dynamos. Dynamos have a chance to turn the tide. Genesis Mangombe will be happy with that.
Kaka.
So far, for the past 3-4 minutes of the game, it's been scraping on both sides, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
No team has exerted themselves well on the game. You'd expect Dynamos maybe to come in and stabilize the game.
He's saying it's now his 5th time bringing me down.
Yes, you can
Gumura.
appeal, but you cannot ask the ref to give your opponent a card of whatever color.
Yes, indeed.
You can only speak on your behalf, but not to instruct or guide the referee on a decision.
Telone pushing forward. And that free kick by Kasondo. He kept pushing, he kept wanting to get that ball. There we see Kasondo. Oh,
Yeah, and it was not only once.
Yeah.
It was persistent tackling. See, another attempt there, which eventually got him down.
left his boot on the ankle of the Telone defender. But good sportsmanship by Kasonde. He
Yeah.
knew exactly what he did. And
You know, yeah. And also it's good to just go back to the player, just give him a tap and say, tough luck, my guy. It was not intentional.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly on his right ankle there. And that's the big defender, Bria Mafiranyika. Played back by Karati. Throwing to Dynamos, not the good start we have expected. Still sloppy.
I think Telone will just be advised, just to keep the ball, keep it simple, just keep the basics right. You probably get yourself a goal and get yourself back in the game, and then anything can happen. You may steal a point at the death and get something on the road. Because Telone haven't lost away from home this season. They only lost once their first game, which they lost 2-1 against Triangle, the season opener. Thereafter, Telone have never lost an away game. If they lose today, it will be their second away loss this season.
So Dynamos also brought the out of Ngezi Platinum, haven't been beaten, where they remain the only unbeaten team, and they beat them here at Faro Stadium.
So records on show.
Kasondo with the flick. Leroy Mavunga. Can he get in a good cross? Turns infield. Cross is good by Mavunga. Headed away by Telone. Chigara for Telone, looking for options. The substitute turning infield, gives her position. Wisdom Tassa. Frank Agiaman giving chase. He's wide, looking for options. Finds Dynamos Tatenda Magwaza. Good control by Nyakudanga. They push forward and Tassa elect the ball, wins it, but won back by Telone. Chaneka tried to pick up Macheke, and Dynamos coming with Agiaman. Frank Karati, cool as a cucumber, heads that one there to Chapanduka. Good play, built deep in the own half. Nyakope releasing Mafirenyika, looking for options. Good 10 by Telone. They are looking for those opener, and it's cleared by Mtaza out of danger. Marvelous Chigumira for Telone, doing well, pushing forward. And the Dynamos fans are not happy with what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they will want a third goal. That would basically seal this game, which is not coming. Even also some good play from Dynamos. Fans will also want to see Dynamos getting in control of the game so that they maintain the hold on the 3 valuable points. So Dynamos fans are not happy, not because of the scoreline, but because of the type of play from their team. Dynamos has been scraping, Telone has been trying to come into the game, but nothing to show for it. So Dynamos fans whistling there because they want control of the game. They want assurance that the 3 points are in the bag.
Yes, indeed, the players seem to have gone into a relaxed mood where they are not playing the way they were playing in the first half. They've come back lethargic in the second half. Unnecessary push by Calvin Chigara. And the free kick of Magwaza. Magwaza will be happy to take his time and wins a free kick for Dynamos. And Nyawa plays back. Landu. Back to Nyawo. Mandivei will play all the way back to Tatenda Makoni. They want Telone to come out of the shell so that they can explore the middle of the park. Chigara. Good 10 by Macheke, looking for options. And that ball went out of play, lack of concentration by Chigara. Will give Dynamos the throwing on the near side. Kaka talking to his assistant coaches there. You fancy they want to make 1 or 2 changes. Dakwashe Nyakudanga Mavunga. I'm not sure why he was waiting for the ball. Good anticipation by Chigumura. Back to Mavunga. Gwatidzo Anotida. You should have taken a chance here. Wisdom Mutasa, but I thought Anotida Ishe should have taken that chance there, but Mutasa just carrying his effort over the crossbar.
Yeah, I think the ball felt maybe unkindly behind him. He was forced just to have a touch, a tip back, which Mutasa found rolling in his favor. And this technique let him down. Mutasa, he leaned backward. I think it was a good shot, a fair attempt, but it just had too much elevation and went all widely over the bar.
Mandivei trying to do too much by himself there. Abel Gwatidzo to Leroy Mavunga. Dynamos functioning well on that left side. Mavunga and Gwatidzo combining very well. Back to Mavunga. He whips in a cross in the box and it's headed by Makarati. Shadrack Nyawo picks up the pieces. The Dynamos fans are starting to believe they're enjoying what they're seeing.
That's what they want. They want control. They want Dynamos to have a hold on the game, not give Telone a chance. And of course,
former captain Emmanuel Jalai in his off-season with Durban City.
You must be enjoying what you're seeing here.
Definitely. Shadrack Nyawo. The Dynamos fans happy with what they're seeing here. And I tell you, one player for Dynamos, Frank Agiaman, never stops running, he chases every loose ball. Always there.
He's full of running. Look at that move there.
He should have taken a shot there.
And a good shot there from Tasa. Just the elevation was too high. See, it was too much behind for Jairus Kasoni to just tap it into his stride. And then of course he was forced to tap it back from Tasa, who let go a shot.
I think Wisdom Tasa needs to talk to his dad. Lloyd Tasa would have buried those ones in his prime time.
He should watch more videos of his father.
Yes, indeed.
He will learn one or two things.
A great play by Telone, pushing forward, looking for Chagara. He's been seeing plenty of possession ever since he came on. Chagara for Telone. Nyakudanga doing well in the middle of the pack with Innocent Mchaneka. Mafrenyika. Leroy does well, but stopped in the track. Telone pushing forward, the long one. Good play by Telone. If they can get the early ball in the box. A chance here! And it's still not danger averted, and this one goes out of play by Kudakwashe Nyakudanga. And I tell you, Dynamos are living dangerously.
Dynamos living dangerously. After a few minutes when they were in control and in charge of proceedings, and now they are having to deal with the threat that is being thrown at them by Telone. And well, if Telone were to get a goal out of this game, as things stand now, we could be having a game in our hands, because it would actually give them hope, and they can also believe that they can get a second goal. See, that ball there, it was bubbling. Okay, he was kicked on the back there. And then Nyakudanga coming in with a shot which went over the bar.
That's how the foul was free kick was committed. Guatizo with a long one. The first touch by Kasondo was not the best. Mandevei looking. Telone wanting to push forward, and Guatizo again does well defensively for Dynamos. Dynamos wanting to make a substitute. Wisdom Tassa will call it a day, and in comes Perfect Chikwende. And Dynamos, Kasondo calls it a day, and Moses Demera comes in. Your thoughts of those substitutes?
Yeah, if you look at that, Perfect Chikwende is a midfielder, very gritty, industrious and creative, and then also bringing in Demera for Jaros Kasondo. And I think these are attack-minded players who are coming in, and I think Genesis Mangombe Kaka wants to find a third goal and just put this game to bed. So he doesn't want to sit back, he doesn't want to defend, he doesn't want to park the bus, but he still wants to get more out of his team and possibly get a goal, which will definitely seal the game.
Definitely, we will seal the game. And confirmation of the second half scoreline: Dynamos leading by 2-0. Telone asking the questions, pushing forward, looking for that opener. Good 1-2. The cross is good. Headed out by Dynamos. Danger still not averted. A chance here, and the goalkeeper does well. Telone pushing forward and fencing themselves.
Yeah, that was good play from Telone. They know what they want to do, Telone. It's only maybe the finishing or the finesse that lacks, but otherwise you can actually see their idea, you can see their pattern of play, you can see what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, it's not like the final product that eventually comes. But you can see Telone play football.
Telone enjoying a bit of a good spell here. Good play by Telone. Nyawa wins possession for Dynamos. Shouted Nyawa, and it's played a long one. Makarati will clear, gives it to Leroy Mavunga. The tricky and pacey Leroy Mavunga. A chance here. Guatizo with the chance and drags his effort wide. They can't believe it.
He had to pause, taking his beverage because something was likely to happen there. And Guatizo, of course, he tried to go for placement. He sideswiped the ball, but he didn't have enough angles to it. Look at that, a left-footed placement shot that he wanted to do, and on the ground. And Demera would have felt that if he didn't have pace, I would have gone in for a tap in. But it's good play from Dynamos.
Good play, showing intent, looking for that third goal. Chance here. Good play by Telone. In a 4v4, plays wide. The cross is good. A chance here. No one on the back post. Again, Dynamos failing to do with these crosses. Magwaza. And Lando will clear the lines for Dynamos. Good play from Shadrack Nyawo. Perfect Chikwende with his first touch. And offside Demera. And I can tell you in Chamba, Simba Bora are leading Manica Diamonds by 3-0.
Yeah, something is brewing at Chamba. Yeah, Simba Bora leading 3-0. So Coach Mandla Lulupofu, yeah, finding himself a good place, a good nest at Chamba, and doing well for Simba Bora.
A free kick in a promising position. Leroy Mrape winning this free kick for Telone. You fancy Innocent Mchaneka will be behind the ball. Good play there and blocked by Dynamos defender Mandevei to be a free kick in a promising position.
Yeah, he was in full flight and he was impeded.
Young Mrape, Leroy. Let's see how they can swing this one in. Innocent Mchaneka and Marvelous Chigumura. They are behind the ball. with 6 jerseys in that Dynamos box. Can they get something here? Can he whip in a good cross? Or can he go for goal from that angle?
Maybe it's a narrow angle.
It is a narrow angle.
Maybe go for the second ball.
The cross is good. And Nyawa flicks it. Headed out by Dynamos. Looked like there was a player in an offside position. Again, lack of concentration. You take away the attack by not concentrating.
Yeah, because now the tide is now coming against you. You were on the momentum. You are actually on the threat and attacking, and now the ball you have to defend.
Magwaza for Dynamos, who pumped this one long, looking for Agiaman, who flicks it forward. And Demera couldn't get to that ball. Agiaman for Dynamos. Headed forward by Magwaza. Good play. Telone throw in. Dynamos throw in. And Magwaza will take. Agiaman thought he was being pulled back. Play continues. Dynamos have been hitting a purple perch on and off, not really, no consistency.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, they're going hot and cold. There are times when they have control of the game, and then other moments you see Telone dominating.
And one thing Dynamos does possess here at Rufaro Stadium is when they play well, the fans rally behind the team.
They get engaged. Yes, agreed.
Headed forward. Agiaman showing some good skills. And he runs himself. We're throwing for Telone. Looks like he got a free kick. Good play by Kudakwashe Nyabanga. Looking for options. Finds Frank Mkarati. Dynamos doing a good job of congesting the midfield, forcing Telone to be playing the long ball, not allowing them to play the passing game. Marvelous Shugumira. And offside. Free kick to Dynamos.
Meanwhile, Ngezi have scored their second goal through Polite Moyo. So Ngezi Platinum are leading FC Platinum 2-0 at Mandava. So FC Platinum not doing too well at home. Yeah.
The Platinum derby, this one will be a tough pill for Joe Lupasha to
on the top left
KK on the top left there. Calvin Kaindo, hard rock coach, following proceedings here.
He'll be sitting in the dugout tomorrow when they face FC Scotland.
It's number 1 versus number 2 tomorrow. Scotland FC taking on Hard Rock in a top of the table blockbuster. Tatenda Makoni with the long one. The 2 substitutes for Dynamos haven't really stamped authority. Chikwende and Demera. Telone will make a double substitute. That's Panashe Mutasa wearing jersey number 70, young brother to Wisdom. Tatenda Chikona coming in for Kudakwashe Nyakudanga. With Panashe Mutasa coming in for Marvelous Shugumira. I thought Marvelous Shugumira was playing well on that flank, but let's see how Panashe Mutasa will play. KK Calvin Kaindo, former Dynamos coach, will be happy with how his team is playing, his former team, should I say.
Yeah, he is, and they will remember him fondly because he came in when Dynamos were lying in murky waters
and saved them.
He came and he sailed the ship into safety to maintain Dynamos status in the Premiership. So you see, he's watching his former project, and now he's doing another good project at Hard Rock out in Kwekwe.
Yes, indeed. This one, Panashe Mutasa with the early touch. Cleared. Demera goes down and referee says play on. Good work. Crossfield pass from Agiaman looking for Leroy Mavunga. Does he get to the end? And Chris Mberechena does well to gather the ball and takes away the danger, or takes off the danger. A good flick. And Nyawa back to his goalkeeper. One looks like they're looking for that opener, and Dynamos Enma will do. They're putting it forward and losing possession. They made it all by himself looking for option, finds Agiaman in a one-on-one situation. Oh, this a blocking foul, and the referee will should be a yellow card. Yellow card is brandished to Alan Chapanduka.
Yeah, I think I call it taking one for the team, a technical foul there. Agmayang took the ball and decided to just do a rounder on him, and then the defender actually stood in his way, but more in a fouling way, and Agmayang there will be right to demand a free kick, which he got. Yeah, I think it's taking one for the team there. Agmayang was head on goal.
Definitely one for the team, and this is where they will have needed confirmation of the yellow card on Chapinduka. This is where they will have needed Mtasa, but they've got Abo Guatito is one player that can also hit them, as well as Anuti Daishe Guatito, former Dynamos captain Emmanuel Jalai, turning out for Durban City, enjoying proceedings here at Tufaro. Also, Perfect Chikwende is another one that can take them from here.
Yes.
Can he perfectly take it to the top corner?
The angle is right, the distance is right. It's a position where you can kill in one over the wall and below the bar.
Let's see how this one will be taken. Guatizzo with a chance. And the wall does its job. One area I feel our teams need to improve. Guys like Knowledge Msuna, you don't give them those free kicks.
You don't. And even his brother Walter.
Exactly.
Yes. Also, there's Never Tigere. He can also take good shots and take brilliant set pieces from that range. Never Tigere, Sibabora.
Absolutely. Dynamos pushing forward. Demera wins possession. Good flick on for Dynamos here. A chance here. Demera going for glory. Should have given that ball to Leroy Mavunga, was in a better position.
Yes, Leroy Mavunga was in a better position, but I also thought he had created enough space for himself. Maybe the technique got it wrong. If the elevation was lower, probably the angles would have also been worked in his favor. Look at that Demera. They could have taken the first shot, but then the ball was sent over the bar.
He was always leaning back.
Yeah, he was.
And
so technique.
Yeah, the technique not the best. The 1-2 couldn't come out, and Dynamos will clear the lines. Good work from Agwaza. And I'm not sure why they stop play. It's the referee who stops play, not them. Macheke for Dynamos, for Telone, I beg your pardon. Mtasa with a good cross in the box, and the goalkeeper does well to gather the ball and takes off the pressure from Dynamos.
Some Dynamos fans, they're enjoying themselves, but feeling a bit cold, but enjoying the scoreline.
Not sure what happened to Agiaman there. To be a blow if they lose him. He's been full of running this afternoon.
Yeah, he's one player you don't want to lose.
Scored the second goal for Dynamos.
You don't want to lose a player through injury. You know, you want to take a player off the field tactically, not medically.
Absolutely. Magwaza for Dynamos. And played back to Makoni from the Dynamos captain. Shadrack Nyawo. Makoni looking for Anotida. Anotida with a flick on. Good chest control from Demera. The 1-2 couldn't come up. Demera. You fancy he touches the ball. He was in an offside position. But the referee playing advantage, playing perfect Chikwende. Landu with the cross field looking for Mavunga. Good first touch. Watizo. Anotida Ishe. That's Ebel, I beg your pardon. Perfect Chikwende, lose out to Murape. Does well to win possession for Telone. Panashe Mtasa. Poor ball from Panashe Mtasa. Shadrack Nyawo gets possession. Chris doesn't waste time. Finds Chigara looking for options. The flick on is good. Chaneka with the chance here. And this one goes out for the corner. That's Marvelous Nakamba, the Warriors captain, enjoying proceedings here to Faro. Chigara with a chance in the box. Again, Telone, the final ball in the box, not the best. A chance from outside the box, and Dynamos defensively doing well. Chaneka and Dynamos being resolute, holding their own, not giving them enough time to take a crack at goal. Macheke. Anyway, will do for Dynamos, and the fans not happy with it. They want the Dynamos to keep possession. Every time they get their booting forward, they're giving possession to Telone.
Yeah, I'm sure Dynamos fans will be worried what has been the trend in the last 2 games for Dynamos, where they've let 2 valuable points drop from a leading position. That's Chirewa, Tetela Chirewa there.
Yes, young Chirewa enjoying. Frank Agiaman out. And Mandenklos Mlilo comes in for Agiaman, an injured inspired substitute. Let's see what Mlilo can bring to the table for Dynamos. Macheke. And Dynamos clear this one. He's seen plenty possession ever since he came on. Chaneka. Giving Nyak. Kope. Wide to Murape. Full of running. Watizo. Abel does well. Full of running. Picks up Mavunga. That's the Mera. Beg your pardon. They've throw into Telone. Quickly taken. They've got just under 12 minutes to try and conjure something here. Telone. Shadrack Nyawo for Dynamos. What they're not doing well is keeping possession when they get possession. An offside call. It'll be a free kick to Dynamos. But Telone having a bit of moments and doing well, putting Dynamos on the back foot.
Yeah, they've been putting Dynamos on the back foot, but what my concern is Telone haven't changed their way of playing. They've been playing the way they played from minute 1, just finding passes, short passes, mid-range passes, but not necessarily damaging Dynamos. You thought that maybe in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game, you want to show some agency, maybe look for one goal that can bring the game to life. But Telone have been playing the way they've been playing from since minute 1. So there's no desperation in them, there's no agency in them. they are not playing like a team looking for an equalizer or finding a solitary goal. They are playing in the same gear that they started in.
As if they are leading, and Nyawa wins possession. Mrape wins it back for Telone, and Dynamos. Demera can get to the end of that ball. And the offside. Good goalkeeping by Mberetena. Sol Chaminuka, the veteran coach. Frank Makarati will pump this one forward, looking for Macheke. He needs support. Find support in Mchaneka. Dynamos have to defend. Good play from Macheke. You fancy if they score here, they've got chances of coming back in this game. Just to whip that cross at the first time. To be a corner kick for Telone. Can they get something out of this corner kick, Joe?
If they do, it will be something that will give us a good last 10 minutes of the game, where we will see maybe fireworks and exchanging of attacks. But they don't seem to be that efficient in front of goal. That's Telone. They do everything right in other parts of the field, but just that final third, the decisiveness, the precision, and the efficiency seem to be lacking on the part of Telone.
Corner kick is taken. To be another corner kick. Dynamos need to defend this corner as well. Lando says the sun was in his face. Under 9 minutes for Telone. They are to come back in this game. Corner kick. Mchaneka. Near post. Another corner kick. Back in the day, 3 corner kicks were penalty.
Yes.
But football evolved.
Yeah, it evolves and they keep changing the rules. Yeah, so in this case, Telone will be awarded a penalty.
Makoni does well to clear the lines for Dynamos. Pumped forward. Again, Dynamos not covering themselves in glory defensively. Former Dynamos assistant coach Firmon Mchikareva, he also worked with Kalisto Pasua.
Yeah, he knows this terrain very well. He's been in this stadium as part of his second home. And today he's watching his side trailing by 2-0 to Dynamos and not looking like they'll get a goal.
The way they're playing, definitely, but football is crazy. A moment can change a lot of things. The cross is good, and Chris does well. And the foul was committed by Demera.
Chris Berechina in pain there. Yeah, he had done well to catch that ball to safety. And Demera, of course, with his momentum, he came in and clattered into Chris Berechina.
And Makarati is saying, let's get up, let's get on with the game. We are down, we need to try and find something. Makarati for Telone. We're throwing for Telone on the near side.
Telone themselves missing Tony Ngovisita Masugu through suspension today. He's not part of proceedings because he stands suspended for Matchday 18.
A vital player, they lost this afternoon. Chapinduka to get the throw-in for Telone. Karati does well for Telone. That gap from Wisdom Tassa really showing. I think he was doing quite well in terms when he gets the ball, he was managed to hold possession and finding teammates. I think.
Yeah, he was effective on the right channel for Dynamos. Now that has been pulled out, we're not seeing that incisiveness on the part of Dynamos down the right flank.
Telone pushing forward, looking. They've got under 6 minutes. Macheke. ball is won by Dynamo. Shadrack Nyawo looking for options. Magwaza. Again, the long ball that you talked about is what Dynamos are playing.
Yeah, it seems it's like a trademark for Dynamos. You know, they play short at the back, and then the one speculative ball is pumped up front, which becomes anyone's ball, and anyone can take that ball and then also come at Dynamos. But well, for now, it seems like it's proving to be efficient for them, because they are protecting their lead, and they want to guard against the trend that they've been conceding late goals and conceding equalizers.
They're enjoying the game, and the Dynamos fans in song saying Siana Nayo Dimbare. It's a long throw headed out by Telone. Mtasa gives away possession. Perfect Chikwende looking for options, and the ball is played to Demera. Throw in for Telone. Confirmation of the scoreline. Again, the long ball not working. Offside.
If it stays like this, Telone will move one place down the log table. They came in on position 15, and now as it is now, they are on position 16. And while Dynamos will maintain their position on position 6.
Abel Guatizo. Anyone will do. For Dynamos defense, they need a creative midfielder, someone that can make things happen going forward. Perfect Chikwende Demera for Dynamos, and Chikwende, the return pass wasn't good from Anotidaishe Guatizo. Mlilo, the 1-2 with Chikwende was stopped in its track by Chapanduka. Lire Mavunga has gone cold on that wing. Clever play by Mavunga to win a corner kick for Dynamos. You fancy they will score from this set piece.
That's
from open play. It seems that the second half they've not really brought their sharp shooting boots.
These are the moments where Dynamos need to manage the game, because they failed to do that in the last 2 games, dropping 2 valuable game points in the 2 games. So they will rue 4 points that they lost in that last 2 games because they conceded late goals.
Yes, indeed, the corner kick was taken, but not the best. Telone doing defensive duty as well. Magwaza for Dynamos. Mandivei, the cross is good. Overhit, and well done by Telone to clear the lines, heading the ball back to Chris Mverechena. Mlilo does well to momentarily give Dynamos possession, which they'll quickly lose. It's now a seesaw. Both players taking chances, both sets of players taking chances to lose possession. It will be a good victory for Dynamos, having dropped 2 points away in Mutare against Manica Diamonds last week.
And drawing 2 more points against Agama. Against Hunters.
Yeah, here Truvaro.
Yes.
Those were 4 points they dropped. 2 on the road, 2 at home. At least Gines Mangombe will have a good night's sleep should it end this way. There hasn't been a lot of action in the last 10-15 minutes of this encounter. Macheke looking for options. Finds Mafrenyika. Pushing forward the gangling defender, and Nyawa wins possession. He If they can find Demira. Good pass to Leroy Mavunga. Can he dash in the box? Leroy Mavunga in the box. What can he conjure here? Looking for option. Mavunga. Ooh! Chance missed there by Dynamos. Demira. He should have hit the back of the net from that angle.
Yeah, he didn't have good contact with the ball. That's why it was an easy tap in. But I think he got the elevation wrong and the angling was wrong. And then he was just below the ball and he forcing it to go up. He went under the ball. It was a good lay on by Leroy Mavunga. He came in on the right, tucked back in, and then laid in for Demira. Demira went under the ball instead of behind the ball to tap it in. But otherwise, Leroy Mavunga had done well.
Should have hit that ball.
Yeah.
A chance goes bagging Dynamos. 2 minutes of optional time. Free kick for Telone in a promising position. Again, they don't have players on the wide areas where they could have played the ball wide and get across in the box, but wanted to go through the center of the field. That's Chaneka and Marape behind the ball. What can they conjure here? Can they bring out something here? Cross in the box is good, headed away by Dynamos. It will throw in on the near side to be taken by Telone. Anywhere will do for Dynamos. Throw in, given to Telone. Chigara for Telone quickly takes it. Macheke with a long one effort, and this one, the goalkeeper Tatenda Makoni will gather. You fancy Dynamos will get all the 3 points this afternoon?
Yeah, well, as things stand now, I think Dynamos have 3 points secured.
And Mavunga with a chance here, and gets a third one for Dynamos. Leroy Mavunga. It was a good ball from Tatenda Makoni, the goalkeeper, picking up Leroy Mavunga. The kind of Edison pass from Tatenda Makoni.
Tatenda Makoni with a save from his long range shot, with a counter attack. Tatenda Makoni with an assist. Leroy Mavunga with a clinical finish, sealing the 3 points for Dynamos. 3 goals, 3 points, clean sheet. What else can these fans ask for? This is what the doctor ordered for these Dynamos fans.
Definitely what the doctor ordered. 3 goals for Dynamos. We did see a good pass from Tatenda Makoni, the kind of Edison. The former Manchester City goalkeeper will make those passes, and a good assist by Tatenda Makoni. Good finish, cool, calm, composed. Leroy Mavunga scores, and the Dynamos fans are in song. What a great finish on the near post where the goalkeeper was.
Beautiful first touch.
The first touch was beautiful.
He laid it on for himself.
And just tapped the ball past an advancing Chris Beretena. Macheke for Telone looking for options. That's whistle bringing the end of this game here. Dynamos at the cusp of game time, full time. Leroy Mavunga giving Dynamos the 3rd goal. Your thoughts of this game? Quickly, Joe.
Yeah, well, a game where Telone may be disappointingly played the same way they played from minute 1 up to the end without showing any agency or any desire or to get a goal at least against Dynamos. Whereas Dynamos for me have been more efficient. They didn't have much of the control of much of the exchanges, but at the end of the day, Dynamos get the 3 points. They'll be able to get the 3 points, 3 goals, and a clean sheet. At the end of the day, it gives them full maximum points, and then they'll be glad to take that. But Telone, of course, will be disappointed that they lack the efficiency up front, which they could have gotten at least a goal from the type of play that they do. But kudos to Telone. I think they play good football, good for the eye, but maybe not as decisive up front.
Not as decisive up front, but for Dynamos, they will not care about that. It's 3 points in the bag and the 3 goals this afternoon, keeping a clean sheet. Dynamos fans really happy with this result, and Dynamos coach Gines Mangoto was worried of the defense, and they did play well in the second half. I think those 2 early goals in the first half gave Dynamos the momentum, and Dynamos winning this one. Coming full guns blazing, which I tell you, that this game, Chris Verichena had a good game between the sticks, but unfortunately beaten 3 times by Dynamos. So full time here at Rufaro Stadium. It's Dynamos 3, Tel 1-0. We cross over to Charles Madiga on pitch side with the coaches.
Utter anguish for the Wi-Fi boys because they had been hoping to get back into the game even at 2-0, but then it went horribly wrong at the very last minute. Dribbling wizard Leroy Mafunga putting the icing on the cake for Dimbari. 3-0 and sending further relegation wars to Tel 1. Well, they'll have to see what they can do, because if Agama, who play Caps United, win tomorrow, then there's a bit of a shake-up there. They are still 15th, Tel 1, by the end of the day, and Dynamos, okay, get 3 precious points. I'm now joined by a victorious and a smiling Dynamos head coach, Kaka Genesis Mangombe. Well, congratulations, coach, and in the end, your formations did all the trick.
Yeah, of course. We knew it was going to be a very, very difficult game. You say the opponents were playing, were keeping possession and dominating possession. But we said if we can utilize the spaces they leave behind, we use the speed wingers and use our outlets, then it materialized. Most of the goals we got, somewhere they were counter-attacks, and the other one was from the wide areas. So we did exactly what we've been planning, and I'm happy that we managed to score 3 goals.
And coach, just tell us something. I'm sure the millions watching, especially Dynamo supporters or even non-Dynamo supporters, would like to know. Every game, the Dynamos fans want a win. How is the pressure being in the hot seat at Dimbari?
Yeah, this team is very big, I can tell you. And they demand results. You know, they were used to winning trophies and all the things. So at times, if you are trailing, you are not winning. Yeah, you are under pressure. So you need to be, you need to be there in order to face the pressure, and also work very hard so that you change the results and get maximum points every game.
Well, coach, congratulations and all the best in your next game.
Thank you, Blachale.
That was Kaka Genesis Mangombe. Very happy indeed. And now I'm joined by a visibly dejected Tel 1 coach, Mazibaba. We call him Sol Chaminuka. And coach, you could have come back to make it even 2-1, but those missed chances, coach.
It's what happens in football. You create opportunities, you don't convert. The other team scores goals. And goals is what we win games. And I think a story of maybe a game where you are showing that you can play, but poor conclusion of attacks. And I mean, that's the game for you. You play in a game where you create opportunities and then you fail to score. Chances are you will lose that game.
And coach, I know, maybe I might be jumping the gun here. The transfer window is not very far up. Are you thinking of maybe adding a gunman? Because it looks like you never, Washington Navaya was never replaced.
Yeah, we are thinking about that, obviously. And the window being around the corner now, we are definitely going to be looking for someone to replace in Washington, to come in and add on to what we have. Maybe we start scoring goals and we win games.
Yeah. Tough luck, coach. All the best in your next game.
Thank you.
That was Mazibaba Sol Chaminuka. Now, for the man of the match, who did you think? Who did you think? There were quite a couple, eh? There were quite a couple of names. But, of course, in the end, the man of the match. Yes. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's Frank Agyamang. He is in top form. He scored 2 goals against FC Hunters. He scored again today the second goal for Dimbari. What has been the secret? You've just come back. You've just come with a bang. What's the secret about this sudden hit of top form?
Oh, okay. I don't have a secret, but it's just God who is providing all what I need for me. It's just God.
So, what message can you have for the millions of Dynamos fans who are watching, obviously celebrating? What can you tell them?
Okay, what I can tell them is that this season is our season, so they should keep supporting us. We need to score more goals and we're going to win the games. We're going to take this league. Yeah. Frank
Agyemeng is $200 richer, and just wait. Yeah, he's agreed to.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, he's agreed to give me even 100. Sure. Thanks, you heard the man himself. But Frank, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
In your next game, keep up the top form.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, 100 shade because Mamunzgo I think Arundipa wire. Frank Agyemeng is the man of the match for this one. Right, tomorrow is the mother of all battles. We are back here in Mbiles for the big one. Scotland, Maviravira take on Hard Rock, the Kasongo Golden Boys. So, if you're not here, well, make sure that you are with us tomorrow. Well, that's just about it from everyone in the ZBC TV sports crew, fronted by our producers, Bevan Shinrai, Stuart Shoriwa, Tinashe Manyoni, and Gina Gwanzura. We say, remember to take care of your loved ones and each other. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. Until we meet again tomorrow, it's bye-bye for now.